Have you ever gotten your payslip, looked at that big number at the top, and then looked at what actually hit your bank account and just felt a little confused? Yeah, there's always a gap, isn't there? Well, today we're going to dive in and completely demystify the Malaysian payslip so you know exactly where every single ringgit is going.
It's the classic question, right? You see your salary on paper, and then poof, something happens between that and your bank statement. If you've ever stared at your payslip thinking, okay, seriously, where did the rest of it go? Trust me, you are not alone. It's a super common feeling. So let's find out.
You know, this whole mystery really just boils down to two key terms: gross salary and net salary. Your gross salary, that's the big, shiny number that looks fantastic on an offer letter. It's the headline. But your net salary? That's the real deal. That is the actual cash you get to spend, to save, to live on.
So why are we obsessing over net salary? Well, because this is the number that runs your entire financial life. I mean, think about it. It decides how much rent you can actually afford, whether that car payment is going to be comfortable or a real squeeze, and it's the foundation for any realistic savings plan. It's everything.
So what exactly is causing that gap between the big number and the real number? Well, let's meet what I like to call the quiet chippers. These are the standard deductions that get taken from your salary every single month before you even get a chance to see it.
Okay, first up is EPF, the Employees Provident Fund. And look, this is actually a good thing. The most important thing to remember here is this is not money that's just gone. This is your money. It's a mandatory retirement fund that's being built up just for you, for your future.
For most of us, your contribution is going to be 11% of your salary. And yeah, this is usually the biggest single deduction you'll see on your payslip, which is exactly why it makes such a big dent in your take-home pay.
Next on the list is SOCSO, or PERCSO. The easiest way to think about this is like your own personal safety net at work. It's a social security plan that covers you if you get injured on the job or face some kind of invalidity. It's a small amount, but boy, it's incredibly important if you ever need it.
And rounding out this trio of must-haves is EIS, the Employment Insurance System. This is another layer of security. It's a fund that gives you some temporary financial help and even support finding a new job if you ever find yourself unemployed. It's another one of those, hope you never need it, but you'll be so glad it's there things.
So just to recap real quick, EPF, SOC, and EIS. Together, they make up your core safety net. One is for your future self in retirement, and the other two are for life's unexpected bumps in the road. But okay, those are the predictable ones. Now, let's get to the part that really gets people scratching their heads.
All right, we've covered the standard three. Now it's time for the big one, PCB, or Potongan Cukai Bulanan. This is the deduction that often feels like a bit of a moving target, right?
And let me be really clear on this because it's super important. PCB is not some extra separate tax. Think of it more like a monthly installment plan for your annual income tax. The whole idea is to just spread out the payment over the year so you don't get hit with one massive tax bill all at once.
So you might be wondering, why is my PCB different from my colleagues, even if we are in the same? Well, it's because the amount is calculated based on your specific situation. It looks at your income, what tax reliefs you can claim, and your residency status. It's totally tailored to you.
Okay, so we've broken down all the deductions and the acronyms. But let's get to the real point. Why does any of this actually matter? Because understanding your payslip isn't just about accounting. It's about empowering you to make way smarter decisions in your actual life.
This knowledge is a total game changer. It helps you answer those really important questions. Like when you're looking at two different job offers, you can figure out which one will actually put more cash in your pocket. Or when you finally get that raise, you can realistically estimate how much your lifestyle can actually improve.
You know, this quote just says it all perfectly. Gross salary might impress you for 5 seconds. Net salary is what your wallet lives with for the whole month. That's your reality. That's the number that matters every single day. So let's bring it all home and talk about the most practical thing you can do with this knowledge, budgeting. Because once you know your true take-home pay, you can stop planning with fantasy money and start building your financial life on your real pay.
And you know what? The process is actually pretty straightforward. First, you start with your net salary, the real number. Right away, cover your non-negotiables, your rent, your loans, your bills. Then, and this is crucial, pay yourself next by putting your savings aside. Whatever's left after that, that's what you truly have for everything else: food, fun, going out.
And that really just leaves us with one final big question to think about. I want you to take a moment and look at your own financial plan. Are you building your budget based on that big, impressive gross salary? Or is it grounded in the solid reality of your net pay? Knowing the difference, that is the very first step to real financial clarity.